Hold on, I need to chuck something again. This is gonna be interesting. That was fairly uneventful. Not a sponsor. You gotta have pistachios though. These things are good, yo. Well, I'm back here. Video 4? 5? I don't know at this point. A couple things. I'm almost at 50 subscribers now. So I just need like 2 people to like hit the subscribe button. We'll be at 50 and I can celebrate for a little bit. Also, I am starting college this week. So basically I'm gonna have a lot less time to do this than I have had. So starting after this video is made and posted, I'm going to be uploading every Sunday because that makes the most sense with my school schedule. Besides that, my week was pretty uneventful. I had to make a schedule for myself. So that's gonna be that. And I've just kind of been hanging out. Hung out with some friends last night and the other day. Yeah, this video should hopefully be pretty quick. So if you like it, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, whatever. And enjoy the video. Crosby. Crosby. Hey, buddy. Oh, you're so cute. I know. How's your day been? That's good. I don't know what to do.
You start making a joke that's like, hey, you ever, you ever, you know when someone, when someone, like,
when you wish you want you
when someone
you want when you
asks for your opinion,
when
and then you tell them your opinion, and then they tell the other thing, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, I get that.
You ask.
Well, yeah, no, I mean that makes perfect sense. Stay hydrated, folks. Sweet. So obviously, by the title of this video, you know what's about to happen. I've done a couple of snare drum things on this channel so far, but I am a bass drummer, and I've never done any bass drum stuff somehow yet. So we're about to break that. So today I'm going to, you can join me if you want. I'm gonna learn the Rhythm X 2016 bass break. I get all my sheets from snarescience.com. They actually have, there's like a folder that was posted on a thread somewhere that contains just all these sheets. However, there is some parts in the sheets that were transcribed for this lick that seemed really incorrect, like this one that's on screen right about now. At 190 beats per minute, I just don't see how bass 3 can play 2 4s in a row that quickly. So I went through and transcribed it, and I figured out what it actually was. And so I'm gonna show the sheets that I transcribed on this screen because I think it's correct, at least in my opinion. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be some fun stuff for sure. So if you like this, go down there, hit the like button, subscribe, do whatever the heck you need to do, and let's get going with this. So first 2 measures of this are simple. I'm doing double buzzes. It's so yeah. Oh, that's at 80% speed. Nobody likes 80% speed. Well, actually, practice things slowly and then work your way up. That's always the way to do it, but this seems pretty easy. Yeah. So after this, we have the first 2 measures here. So basically, we got an 8th note lead in between basses 1 and 3. Bump, 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 bump. And then we got this singles pattern that's basically 3 yen to 4 yen, or 1 yen to 2 yen, or whatever. Going through basses 1 and 2, then 2 and 3, then 3 and 4. The most important factor in this being clean is to keep your hand speed the same, fluid, and don't lock yourself down. Understand that between the last upbeat split single and the downbeat that you would play right after that, whatever drum you are playing, that is a dotted quarter note space. No, wrong, so wrong, not a dotted quarter note space. I'm editing this right now. That, I don't know what I was on when I was trying to say what I was trying to say. It's a dotted 8th note space, not a dotted quarter, dotted 8th note. Just go with that. So in the way that you would feel like 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and E1, like that 1 1 2, that spacing right there, that is the spacing that you would feel after you play your last split single into the downbeat. So for instance, bass 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And so if you can keep your hand motion like that and keep it fluid, you're basically golden no matter what part you're playing. Yeah, something like that. Sweet. And so the next two measures, we got basically the downbeat on 5, boom, and then we got two split singles in there on beats 2 and 4 between basses 4 and 5, and then 2 and 3, and then we got that 2s run on basses 4 and 3, so 5 4 5 4 5 4 3 2 3 2 3 1, and it ends up there on 1. The way that I count all my bass drum stuff, like I understand the rhythm, and if I need to count the rhythm, I totally do, but I always sing my parts like I sing the bass drum number, because that helps me to know, like let's say I'm playing bass 3, I can just sing the part that I always sing and then play when I sing 3s, and it's always going to be super helpful to understand the actual counts. You can't just sing the numbers and actually know where to go unless you know like your counts, but it is also good to know the entire line, because that's how you know how to blend in with everyone else when you're playing. Or for me, blend in with myself 5 times, playing 5 different things. You get the point. So probably the hardest part of this measure is, again, that bass 3 part in there, because you have a 2 on the and of 3, and then that single on 4. So going back to back, 1 2 3 and 4 and 1, like that. That's a little challenging, but really I'm just going to be focusing my right hand, 1 to the enda, and 1 to the enda, or one way or another I'm going to figure it out, and it's going to work, and it's going to be great. Right after that measure, we got this measure with like half lasers and weird looking split singles. I honestly don't really know what half this stuff is, but this measure looks pretty sweet. As long as you break down the parts, it's actually really not that bad whatsoever. The hardest part here is the bass 2 part for sure. Bass 1, you got 1 2 3 4, and bass 3, you got 1 2 and 3 and 4 and, just keeping that and count consistent. Bass 4, you got 1 2 3 4 a 1, like that. So just making sure you hit that count and keeping those 2s open. And the bass 5 doesn't even play here. And bass 2, you got 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. So really that to the E on beats 3 and 4, it's really just an 8th note spacing, right? So as long as you keep that fluid and you keep that count from the of 2, and you keep that quarter note moving, it should hopefully, you should be able to just line it up and it should be good. 1 and 2 3 4 E, like that. The next two measures, we got just an 8th note check, but 2s and 3s on the last 2 counts. Boom, boom, or 3 2 1 2 5 4 3 2 1. Just understanding the spacing for those 2s and 3s, or just making sure you're not too crushed and all that, because the tendency for playing 2s and 3s is just to be way too crushed. And then you got that 5-lit. Splitting a 5-lit is almost never easy. Basically, you can count this however you feel suits best for you. You can count it as university, hippopotamus, 1 2 3 4 5, refrigerator, really any 5-syllable word that works for you. Not a triplet if you really want to. Really, I always just like to count 1 2 3 4 5 because that makes the most sense for me. And then I play on whatever partial or count or whatever I know I'm supposed to. So, like let's say I'm playing the bass 4 part here, I play on the 5th partial of that 5-lit. So I would do 1 2 3 4 5 1. That's literally the way I think about it. If you have any suggestions on better ways to think about that, hit me up, because I'm down to hear whatever you have to say. And then that quarter note trip on bass 5, like that's the easiest part, because you got 1 2 3 4 5, boom 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 boom, and then you end down there. These next 2 measures are my favorite 2 measures of the entire feature. We got what?
What's up, guys?
Sorry, I see it, Jack.
Denied.
The next 2 measures of the feature here, as you can see on the screen, are my favorite 2 measures of the entire feature. We got a 4s run, and so this is the part that I fixed because I knew it was wrong, but it's basically an 8th note check with 4s, or a 16th note check with right hand 2s, basically on drums, 5 4 3 2 3 4 5 4. So really just knowing what counts we play on, and then you can check that with just one hand. So let's say I'm playing bass 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you can also go through to check that with 16th note 2s, but on the right hand, or both hands really. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 because that's going to be the speed of your hands when you're playing 4s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the biggest part about playing these 4s is getting out of that second note. So you're going to have to play that first note, and you're going to have to be able to get up and out of that first note fast enough so that second note is going to be louder, or else all your 4s are going to sound like this. And that's not what we want. We want them to sound like this. So they're all nice and loud and open, and you get that great sound quality that everybody wants out of the bass drum. So, and then after that, you have the most intense looking hand-to-hand at 190 beats a minute ever. Really, the trick here is just to not overthink it. You're playing 16th notes, starting just a partial after. The most important part really is to nail that first note and then keep your hand speed the same. I personally always tend to rush when I play my hand-to-hands, so I always tell myself, slow down. And when I actually force myself to slow down, it hits more than it doesn't. So that's my trick to playing hand-to-hands. Maybe I'll make a separate video on how I practice those later. If you do want that, let me know. And then it's just a 4s run down the drums, and you're off on this little groove. The groove measures are not hard whatsoever. It's just boom, 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 boom. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 4, 1. And the downbeat is bass 1 only. Pretty self-explanatory. And then you got that hand-to-hand, the measure after. Again, the hand-to-hand, same exact thing. It's triplet based. Really just get used to playing your triplets, and then really figuring out how to come in on that partial right after the first note, and then keep your hand speed the same. Again, my tendency, especially with triplet hand-to-hands, but also all of them really, is for me to be fast. So I'm going to figure out how to slow down so I can play that bass 2 part. And then a 3s run down the drums. So it's kind of like the measure before, it's just triplet based. The next 2 measures are basically this little build up, easy enough for bass 5 and 4. You just got or whatever. And then bass 3, 2, 1, it's 1 and 4, 1, right? Again, that's the check for that again. I'm going to be playing it, not molar, but I'm going to be playing it alternating. Something like that. And then the last measure is pretty much the most beast measure of all time. It's just lasers going down, or whatever. The most important part about this, and this is something that I do want to hit right now, is about keeping your hand speed relaxed, keeping your hand speed the same no matter which partial you are playing. So I'm going to play something. Watch this. So the question that I ask now is, what partial did I just play? Did I play the downbeat? Did I play the E's, the ands, or the uhs? Because there was no reference. So you really, it could be any of those. But the way that I played that is the way that it needs to look and feel, let's say, when you're playing the E's and the uhs especially. If not, let's take the E's for example. A tendency that I have sometimes, or I used to have at least, a lot, when I played E's was, oh, if I just play right after the downbeat, it'll be fine. I just think 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. But in me thinking play right after the downbeat, instead of referencing everything with hitting the E and then keeping it quarter note check, I basically was thinking, oh, I need to like prep on the downbeat so that way I can hit the E count. So it basically, instead of making my hand look like this, it made my hand look something like this. So you could tell I had a lot more tension in my arm, hopefully, on that second one, and I was basically whipping it. Because of that, I'm not getting as good sound, I'm not getting as good just quality in general. It just looks kind of bad. I mean, really. So really being able to apply the way you would play a downbeat smoothly to any of these 4 partials is what's going to help you. And then bass 5 has just got a nice fat at the end. That is the feature, and now I'm gonna shut off this camera like I always do, and I'm gonna really practice the butt out of these 5 parts, and I'm gonna record them, and I'm gonna put them together. And now here is the Rhythm X 2016 bass feature. Enjoy. Hey everyone, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. It's free and doing this is an absolute blast on my end. And if you have any video requests, comment below or DM me through Instagram. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.